Hello, everybody. My name is John Edwards, and today we are going to have a topic about financial considerations during divorce. Not always the most pleasant thing to talk about, but you want to make sure that you're protected. So, there's two kinds of states that you should be aware of: common law states and community property states. Arizona is a community property state, and so are these other ones down here: California, Idaho, Louisiana, New Mexico, Nevada, Texas, Washington, and Wisconsin. In community property states, marital assets are typically split in half during a divorce. In common law states, that's not always the case. But of course, this can be up to the discretion of the judge. But that's something you want to be aware of for sure. Debt always survives a divorce, so you want to make sure that just like your joint accounts, you close those and you move those over to single name accounts with just your name on it. Because with a joint account, anybody listed on that account can close the account, can pull money out, and so it's best to have those shut down before you actually get divorced. And same with debt. It's with the common law states, the debt will be individual responsibility of each spouse. But in a community property state, you're typically going to see the debt divided between the two of them. So that's just something to be aware of. One issue that is at the forefront when going through a divorce is who gets to keep the house. While it might sound like the best thing is to just be the one to keep the house, there's a lot of things you really need to think through. If it's the largest marital asset you have, you're going to need to pay for it with some other asset to make things equitable. And a home that easily fit in the budget of two people, it might be more of a challenge with just one income coming in. And there's a lot of maintenance on homes. A lot of times we don't realize exactly how much we're spending on maintenance, but it can be very substantial. Finally, one important thing to keep in mind is that if you're able to sell the house before you get divorced, it's a real nice benefit because then you're able to exclude up to $500,000 of capital gain, $250,000 for each spouse, which you wouldn't be able to do once you're divorced. So that could save you on taxes. Equal distribution of assets. So, yeah, typically you're going to see assets split 50-50, but that's not always the case. The judge has discretion based on how they see the situation, and 401ks are typically split in half too. The assets that were earned during the period of marriage. And they typically do that with a QDRO, or Qualified Domestic Relations Order. And when the plan sponsor receives that, they're able to do things they normally wouldn't be able to do, like splitting a 401k into two. And typically, also when the recipient gets a new retirement account from a divorce, they're usually allowed to take a one-time withdrawal that doesn't get hit with the 10% early withdrawal penalty for taking money out before age 59 and a half. So that's kind of interesting. Social Security benefits. Well, we've seen many couples either not get married or decide to stay married rather than get divorced just because they found themselves in a situation with their Social Security that was so favorable. So it can make a big difference in your retirement income to have a good Social Security benefit. And when you reach full retirement age and you can claim Social Security, you're able to also go onto your spouse's Social Security record. As long as you've been married for over 10 years, you have a right to their record, and you can take whichever one is going to give you more money. Yeah, and once you're at full retirement age, and if you get divorced, you know that you'll be entitled to half of whatever the spouse with the higher earning Social Security was. So you at least have that. Don't forget estate planning. So, there's a lot of estate planning considerations as well. As if you have a trust, you're probably going to need to rewrite the whole thing. If you have a will, it needs to be reviewed. And, just your estate may no longer be taxable. So some of the trusts that you have set up might no longer be needed. And there could be a better way to do it. And also, oftentimes we see people have a variety of different 401ks and insurance plans, and things that pass by beneficiary designation. So you want to double check each one of those and make sure that your spouse is no longer the sole beneficiary. Tax implications. Well, you're going to have to change your filing status. Filing jointly will no longer be allowed. You can decide which way you want to do it in the year of divorce. And you can decide, for instance, who will get to take the mortgage deduction in the year of divorce. But there's a lot to think about and discuss with the CPA. Child support payments are not deductible by the payee, and they're not taxable income from the person receiving it. And maintenance payments used to be that way, but now they are no longer a tax deduction or treated as income. So that simplifies the taxes a little bit. Well, divorce is never a fun process, but you want to make sure it's done as clean as possible, and you can maintain the best relations in your family as possible. So if you're having any questions about this, feel free to give me a call. We'd love to help you out. Have a great day.